Hey everybody, this is the girl Samantha, and I am reporting on some very disturbing stories. Just want to give a trigger warning that there's going to be some very R words. It's about R word. Oh my gosh, I just want to cry. So the reason I wanted to talk about this is because human trafficking to me is a silent crime, is invisible. I feel like this happens to children or even women who no one is really looking after or looking for. And sometimes the parents are even involved in the human trafficking. And so that's how it's like allowed to happen because the parents are, helping this occur. So this was published November 15, 2020 at meaww.com. And it says 2 Arkansas men admit to R-wording 6-year-old girl after docs found she had several STIs. Oh my gosh, this is going to be hard to read, but I'm sure it was even harder for her to go through this. And these are stories we can no longer bury and act like it's not happening in our communities. So this was happening in Little Rock, Arkansas. 2 men from Little Rock recently pleaded guilty to conspiracy to commit sex trafficking of a 6-year-old girl. Federal prosecutors said in a statement that DeMarcus George, age 27, and Mario Waters, age 33, entered the plea before a federal judge, and the plea cancels Judge George and Waters' trial. The trial was supposed to begin on November 15th. A 6-year-old girl was taken to Arkansas Children's Hospital in February 2018 with symptoms that later turned out to be caused by several sexually transmitted diseases, federal prosecutors said. The girl later revealed that the 2 men allegedly R-worded her in a hotel room. Law enforcement reportedly located a hotel that matched the description that the child had provided. As per financial records from the hotel, the victim's mother had rented a room and paid with a credit card in March 2018. The girl was subsequently removed from the custody of the mother. This is horrible. So like I just said, sometimes the parents are actually even involved, and that's why these crimes are even easier to occur because they're not taking children from their parents, so there's no one to file a missing child report or missing persons report because the parent is involved in this and allowing this. It's disgusting. So search warrants were later obtained by officers for George and Waters' blood and urine, which showed that both of them tested positive for the sexually transmitted diseases that were contracted by the girl. Conspiracy to commit human trafficking of a minor can be punishable by any term of imprisonment up to life, and I hope they both get life, and not less than 5 years of supervised release. I'm just disgusted. I'm disgusted. And the fact that the mom was a part of this, I don't care what she was going through. I could care less. This is horrific. And then in another, you're supposed to be protecting your children, and this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing to your child, your little girl. This is appalling. Like, I want to cry. I'm so angry. So, in another recent incident, 3 people from eastern Louisiana were taken into custody for human trafficking and R-word in connection with the alleged sex trafficking and abuse of an 11-year-old girl over a span of about 4 years. So she was literally like 7 years old when it started. That's sad. That's beyond sad. It's sickening. And I would love to know, what are the signs? Like, what are the signs so that you can know this is happening around you and you can get them out of there? This has to stop. This has to stop. And listen to this. So it said law enforcement authorities have clarified the names of the 3 residents. They are Everett West, aged 41, Dina Guidry, aged 56, which sounds like a woman, and Bobby Tisdale, age 38. 2 of these were parents or guardians of the girl. So all 3 were arrested. These are 3 grown-ass people. This girl went through hell. There's really no other way to put it. Like, she's gone through hell 4 years of these 3 grown people not protecting her and, in fact, abusing her. And allowing others to abuse her, probably. It's disgusting. Oh my gosh, it just makes you want to vomit. All 3 were arrested and taken to police custody on Monday, November 8th, after Vernon Parish authorities conducted a long probe into the sexual abuse accusations. Sheriff Sam Kraft, who is overseeing the investigation, stated that the victim conversed with investigators, Department of Family Services workers, and a pediatric physician. So far, the abuse has happened several times from when the child was just 8 years old and continued till she was 11. The sheriff added that the victim also said that the suspects were involved in the rampant use of illicit drugs within the house. As per KPLC TV, investigators concluded that the suspect gave sexual contact with the girl child to several people. This it's like hard to believe people like this exist. Like, when you're living in your bubble, it is just really hard to read these stories. Like, it's like this doesn't happen in real life, does it? So they exchanged a little girl for money or illegal drugs. According to the sheriff, the victim told detectives that one of the suspects, Guidry, was present on various occasions while she was being attacked. What do you guys think about these gruesome stories? This is disgusting, and it seems like Dina Guidry was actually there on occasion. I'm glad the little girl is safe now. I pray she is safe and recovering and just never to be harmed again. And I pray she can recover from this. Then you have here 2 more people who are doing some human trafficking. This is horrible. And there's a lot of women involved, which is very shocking. You wouldn't expect women to be involved in this type of crime. Because to get R-worded, that's like the worst that could happen to you. You lured this girl in, a Catrice Brown and a Michael Ashford. This was published 9 months ago. A man and woman arrested for human trafficking in Terrebonne Parish. And Michael Ashford turned himself in on the evening of March 16th. Is an update because he was on the run. Their charges are human trafficking, racketeering activity, enticing person into prostitution, parish ordinance supplementary sexually oriented business. So in Houma, Louisiana, according to Sheriff Tim Sognet, on March 14th, Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office detectives and patrol division arrested 1 person in a human trafficking investigation. An arrest warrant has been obtained for another person in this case. Sheriff Saunier, I think, says the Terrebonne Parish Sheriff's Office patrol was alerted to a local hotel in reference to disturbance. Upon arrival, they made contact with a 19-year-old female from Alabama. Deputies also made contact with 30-year-old Catrice Yolanda Brown residing in Orlando, Florida. Through investigation, detectives learned that the 19-year-old female met a male on social media. She and the male subject, later identified as Michael Ashford of Orlando, Florida, entered into an agreement to exchange sex for money in an attempt to better her living situation. Officials say once the female began traveling with Ashford, she was not supplied any of the money and was only given food and lodging in hotels. Michael Ashford allegedly fled the scene when deputies were arriving. Detectives learned that Catrice Brown traveled with them and assisted in finding customers as well as booking hotels. An arrest warrant was issued from Michael Ashford for the same charges as Catrice Brown. And Sheriff Saunier advised that people like this entice young girls from bad living situations into the sex for money trade. Some of these girls feel they have no way out of their current situations and end up in much worse conditions at the hands of these predators. So this is why I wonder, like, why not go into the military? Like, people talk crap about the military, but like, they'll say it's racist, is this, is that. You know, I'm not fighting no white man's war, but you are fighting his war because you're alive, and we're living in a global existence of white supremacy. So you're telling me you'd rather not join the military and possibly go to war. You'd rather be sex trafficked. Like, you'd rather go through that hell to try to get out of your really bad situation. So it's just, I don't know. It's like, these are questions we have to ask ourselves. We have to find solutions and just try to stop this from happening. Like, get people out of these situations where they don't feel like this is their only option. So let me know what you guys think about this story. And these are two black people doing this. So apparently everybody's in on this business. It's very vile. Leave your comments below. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.